Hello, everybody. I just wanted to kind of get together with you and talk about some things, what's going on in the world, what's going on with you, what's going on galactically, and also tell you some kind of things about me for a lot of you who have recently followed me who may not know a lot about me, only following me from collaborations and things like that. So I thought I would do a little introduction for that as well. So I guess the first thing I want to start with is, there's a lot going on in the world. We've got a lot of things that are being affected externally. We're finally seeing a lot of realization for things that we've been working so hard for those of us who have known the truth that was coming and that was going to be released. We are so close. We are in so many beautiful steps towards disclosure, and it's happening at such a fast rate that we can't even keep up with everything that's being released. Probably most of you don't know all the scientific discoveries, all the things that they're going to be releasing, cures, ancient knowledge. It's already been coming out, ancient knowledge of the Middle Earth or the Inner Earth, the Agarthian realms, and the lands beyond Antarctica that are part of what was frozen that are now being revealed, as well as stargates that are being recovered, as well as everything that's coming out. All of the darkness with the Illuminati is coming out and now being released, and the truth is coming out on so many different things that people now are seeing through the lies very quickly. Not always, but definitely a lot more than has been. And it's such a beautiful sign of this ascension and of how far we've come and how far we're going, and kind of where we're at is a lot to be proud of and a lot to be thankful for and blessed for. And I know it may not seem like it, but we really have come so far. I mean, just in the journey, if you think about the people who if you've been following me a long time, then you already know a lot of things that I've been talking about in the beginning have already come to pass. A lot of things that we've been talking about and hoping for and striving for are already manifesting, and they continually manifest at such a rapid rate because we are shifting timelines so fast. And, we're starting to get to a point where Aries is coming up, and that is going to be a convergence of the timelines. So we've got, everybody always talks about the bifurcation of the timelines, but really it's multiple timelines. There's not just two. There is kind of two directions you can go. And of those directions, you can think of it like a tree branch where those timelines then go further out and branch and split over and over. So of those kind of two directions, one in an upward trajectory, one more on a lower or stagnant trajectory, we've got more branches that are splitting. So now on the upwards trajectory, we're starting to see a convergence of the timelines. So there are many roads to ascension, right? We always talk about this. We talk about the Christ consciousness. We talk about the Native American ascension. We talk about the Galactic ascension. We talk about, there's many different avenues of ascension. And there's also the psychedelic one. I guess you can throw that in there, although I think sometimes that crosses with a lot of them. But we're starting to see a convergence of those. So the lines are becoming more blurred because all roads lead to Rome, right? The saying goes that all the roads, all the methods you can take, it doesn't matter the journey, it matters the destination. In regards to the destination is going to be the same, which is ascension, right? So how we get there is not really as important as, because that's a deeply personal journey, but what's important is that we get there, right? So a lot of that is manifesting now. And because it's manifesting, we're seeing this convergence of timelines. So we're starting to see all of that come together in the culmination of our efforts and our desires, because we've already crossed the fourth density and the fourth dimension into time, and we're manifesting like super saiyans. We are going to keep doing that. And so because we're doing that, it's now happening at an exponential rate. So you have to be very wise with what you speak and what you spell, because you are creating your reality. So if you continually project negativity into your reality, that's exactly what you're going to see. And I've tried to explain this to people so many times, and a lot of people just are not understanding, that you are creating your reality, and you your environment is a reflection of what's inside you. So if you are not, if you're projecting your shadows outward, then your shadows will be reflected back to you. And you're only going to be able to focus on those horrible things that are in the environment, because that's a reflection of what is inside you. And it's interesting because we're all collectively creating, right? So it's not just you, right? You're not solely responsible but you are contributing. So if you've got two piles, okay, of things, one is, glittery rainbows, shiny lights, and all of that, and the other one is like piles of shit, and you're contributing to the pile of shit, the shit is just going to get bigger. And so, you're going to keep creating and manifesting and adding on to that. Whereas it might have just been a hint of something, maybe a whisper in the news or a rumor. Now it's becoming reality because so many are committing to that manifestation. So you have to be really careful of that. Now, the other side of that is that's why we're seeing so many different things, where people are seeing the things that they had always dreamed of and talked about, whether that was, the vaccine being full of stuff, whether that's like, the white hat, black hat, red hat, whatever the other one agenda is, whether it's that or whether it's like, the other thing. I mean, if that's what you focus on, that's what you're going to create. So that's fine. That's your prerogative. That's your journey, and it is deeply personal. But you cannot expect that others will see that or experience that if that's not something that they're manifesting. And a really good example of this is you can be in the same location as somebody else and they can be having a completely different experience than you. Meaning they don't see or experience the things in your reality that you're experiencing because they're in a different timeline, they're in a different manifestation. Because we are that strongly manifesting. So you can't, if you get mad at them for not seeing what you're seeing, you have to remember that that's your simulation. That's what you chose. So you cannot expect other people to see that. You can hope, although I don't know why you would want them to see some of those things, but I mean, it is what it is. So another prime example, and I always use this because it's so it's non-political, it's non-biased, it's just something simple that is in nature, and that is the weather, okay? And I'm not talking about the HARP and all that, I'm talking about natural weather events, okay? The normal kind. For example, the news, or you'll get alert on your phone. And I'm from Texas, so I'm going to use tornadoes as an example. You'll get an alert on your phone that says, hey, there's a tornado, and you need to duck and cover. It's like going to hit you. It's imminent, right? It's touchdown is what they usually say. So it's red. You've got to immediately seek shelter. And I will go outside, and I won't be alone. I'll be with other people. We'll go outside, and we won't see a drop in the cloud. We won't see clouds. We won't see a drop in the sky. We won't see anything but the shining sun. And it will be, those alerts are within 5 miles of where you're at. Now, I may not be a meteorologist, but I've studied a lot of science, and I'm telling you, you need rain you need moisture, you need barometric pressure to have a tornado. And if it is bright and sunny, not a cloud in the sky, you are not going to have a tornado. You might have a dirt devil, but you're not going to have a tornado. It takes pressure that's coming down, and that there is no pressure. So other people are seeing it though. And if you venture out like I have before when there was tornadoes and you don't see anything that anybody else is seeing, they're pulled over, they're huddling in fear. That's because they are in a different simulation. They're in a different timeline. They are in a different reality. And that's what I mean by their reality doesn't affect yours and yours doesn't affect theirs. So, a lot of these comments under these videos, that are very divisive and like, oh, I can't just do this because there are people dying in here. And I cannot close my eyes to that. Well, that's fine. There are timelines where that is happening. There are timelines where that's happening. That doesn't mean that you're on that timeline. That doesn't mean that you are experiencing it. Is it directly affecting you? Is it affecting anybody you actually know in real life that you speak to on a day-to-day basis? If the answer is no, then chances are it is just a reflection of what is going on, of the shadows inside you that you need to work out. So that is something that one of the points I want to touch on. And I'm going to have to create a part 2.